So we're back.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Do we have any fun stories for today?
I don't know. Like, that's not the kind of thing I keep locked and loaded and ready to go. Like, fun stories like, hey, what'd you do this weekend? I don't know. Like, I hate it when my father-in-law is like, anything new? I'm like, I don't know. Not really.
There's 4 feet of snow outside.
Claire grew half an inch.
That's exciting. The kids are growing.
Since December. It was, kind of cool. So, yeah, that's new. I don't know what else to tell you.
I don't think there's anything else new right now.
I really need, like, somebody to prompt me. Like, give me a good prompt that doesn't include something generic, like, how was your day? How was your weekend? Is there anything new going on?
So those are generic prompts, and you hate those.
Super generic, yeah, because I can't, like, think in those terms. I need specifics. Like,
you need specifics. Mm-hmm. What new clothing came in?
Now, see,
that's specific, and that's what I want to know.
I can do that. I got some really cute sweaters, some really great transitional items. It was awesome.
You sound really excited.
You know what? I kind of am though. Like the yoga is not really a yoga top, although I do have a yoga top in there. But it's like a big poncho, like t-shirt thing, and it's just it's kind of off the shoulder, and
ooh,
I really like
fun.
it. Like that's I recently put out a survey, like asking my customers like what their sense of style is or how they would describe their style. And when I put that one online, I'm like, hey guys, in case you were wondering, this is the answer to my question. Skinny jeans, I don't care. They're skinny, they're ripped, I don't care. And then the big flowy poncho top. I love it so much.
I want to see this. I missed this somehow. And
I did a whole try-on video.
I'm sure
and
you
everything.
Did, but I don't have the app on my phone.
It's not on the app, it's on the Facebook group.
I know, but I don't have the Facebook app on my phone. So I have to be on a computer. Yeah. I got rid of it.
Which is a good thing.
Oh, it's stellar. It's absolutely spectacular. Anyway, I'm circling back to something you said. You want people to describe their style.
Yeah.
What if they have more than one style?
Then you describe that.
Speaking personally, I don't know how to describe my style.
What do you feel the most comfortable in? Well, I had 2 questions. The one was, how would you describe your personal sense of style?
Okay.
And for a lot of people, they said, I don't have one. I just pay attention to what you wear, and that's my sense of style. I'm like, oh, sweet. That makes me feel good. I know what I'm doing.
Feel good.
And then the other one was, oh God, now I don't remember.
I don't either. I didn't see it.
Yeah. I pull it up, but I won't.
But still, that's... Like, now I'm pulling back from how we even started this. I don't know. Do you only have one style? Does anybody have just one style?
Like, it depends on the mood and it depends on the occasion. But I think, like, at the center of everything that you do, there's a voice that speaks, you know? And that voice is going to come through whether you're dressing up for a formal occasion, whether you're just sitting at home lounging around, whether you're going to work, that voice, you're still going to have that style and it's still going to speak that voice. And if it's not speaking the voice, you need to hone in on what your voice is, because now you're sending out mixed messages.
But what if you have like 5 different voices in your head and one is
I think
a
that's
little hippie?
I think that's a problem for a doctor. I think some medication is in order.
But like one of my voices is this hippie flower child side, and another one is my professional, I have to teach children side. And
no, but that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, you can still have like your professional image or whatever, but that hippie, that boho is still going to come through there.
That's true.
But another word for all of that is eclectic. So maybe your style is eclectic, and that's okay too.
I'll just sum it up like that then.
Yeah.
Because that's easier than listing out everything.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
That would take all the time in the world. But that's good that you ask for help from people to know, like, what their styles are and what you should buy, even if you already bought it.
Yeah, because, you know, at this point, I've been doing this for almost 5 years. And a lot of that time is without help and just kind of guessing and doing my own thing and, you know, just trying to figure it out as I go along. And that's not always the right way to go about things. Sometimes I need help knowing, like, what you want. What do you want? What should I be doing to make my job easier? So actually, and it's kind of kind of humbling too, because
Yeah.
like when I put this survey out there, there's a lot of other questions that are very like, what can I do? What are some of your frustrations when you go shopping? So it's kind of like insightful, but also humbling to be like, oh, well, this is a problem that I have and multiple people have seen it. And so I need now to work to make that better. And, just asking for that feedback is because it's coming. Mm-hmm. You know it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
When you've got constructive criticism coming your way, I mean, it. And so it can be hard to kind of open yourself up and receive that. And
it's a hard pill to swallow when
yeah.
you think you're doing the best that you can. And then to have somebody call you on something, on anything, and realize that, oh, there is room for improvement and I can do this differently. And that's so hard to do. But just asking for help in general, at least for me, I despise it.
I do too. I want to be able to be competent enough, and I almost didn't get that word out right.
You did though. Good job.
I want to be able to be competent enough to be able to figure these things out on my own and not have to rely on other people to help out. I want to be able to do that, but I can't. I just can't. It's almost like I shouldn't expect that from myself either.
But we almost view asking for help as a weakness.
Yeah. And I think that's why. That's why you don't want to, because like that's obviously, oh no, now she can't. She needs help. Oh God.
Well, and I don't think we're the only ones in the world that do struggle with that, right? That has to be, I don't want to say majority of the population, but a decent amount of people, I would imagine, struggle with this because you get like, oh, let's talk about super moms. You do it all. They do everything.
Moms.
They're going to cook. They're going to clean. Their kids get to school on
Pinterest
time.
moms.
Their hair's, Pinterest moms.
I know them.
I do too. Everybody knows them.
I know them.
Do you think they ask for help?
Can
we insert crickets right here?
Yeah. Do I think they ask for help? I don't think they, well, maybe they do, but they don't make it known, Like when you're a Pinterest mom, like that's your image that you're trying to portray. So I do all of this on my own. I don't need anybody else's help. And you know what? I'm going to, for some people out there, they are doing it on their own. And even if they were to ask for help, they probably wouldn't get it. So
that's awful.
Isn't that terrible?
That hurts my heart.
Yeah. I know people, like not personally, but I know of people who have been put in situations where they've had to raise kids on their own and, work two jobs, like do the best that they can, but there's nobody around to help them. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if there was, then they would be like, yes, I will accept the help, but there's just nobody around. But then there's these other moms who are just putting it out there that, I'm doing all of this and I don't need anybody. And I don't think that's true.
I don't think either.
In the bottom of their heart, they probably are like, oh, I'm so exhausted.
You would think.
I'm exhausted watching them.
Yeah. I've only ever been a step parent, and I was like, I'm tired all the time. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even have him all the time. I think the most I ever had him was for a week straight, and that was at the beach. So it wasn't normal, hey, we have to go here and get to this practice. And I don't know how she does it, lady. I really don't know how y'all do it. And if you do it by yourself, hats off to you.
Please give us tips. If you do it by yourself, please weigh in the comments below. Give us your tips for doing it on your own. And I actually do want to know, like, do you accept help? Because I don't know. Honestly don't.
In that position, how do you ask for help? Because
educate us.
People, not just moms, everyone that you come across, how do I want to say this? There's almost judgment involved in asking for help.
Yeah, I think from a certain group of people there are.
Yeah, where, well, you shouldn't need help. But then you get judged if you don't ask for help. Well, why aren't you asking for help if you need it? And
because your ass would put me on blast. That's why.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's not a way to treat people, though.
No.
How do we ask for help if we need it? Can we cover that? Like, how do you genuinely extend the offer to someone to say, I am struggling right now with whatever it is.
This is going to be a conversation that evolves over the next like 20 minutes, because 20 to 30 minutes or whatever, because I don't think I have that answer. I'm not sure if you do either. So we might just have to talk it out and figure it out.
Well, then
Go
let's
on a
talk it
journey
out.
with us, if you will.
And the journey starts now.
No.
Because, okay, let's start here. Love languages. Right?
Oh yeah, you made me
Yeah.
take that test. I can't
did?
remember what the I can't remember what the result
I
was.
made everybody take that test.
Yeah.
Between that and the Enneagram, I just want all humans to know these things about themselves. Well, I had another friend take it too. And her and I have very similar backgrounds. So as we were figuring this out, we end up being similar. And we're like, oh, here's why. And it all makes sense. It just made me laugh, and I had to throw that out there.
Oh, it's not relevant.
I don't know. It kind of is relevant because she's the same
Make
as
it
me
relevant.
and asking for help.
This is your challenge. Make love languages relevant to accepting help.
I am.
Okay, let's hear it.
I mean, I didn't bring it up just to bring it up. I had a point. Then I just took a tangent on making everybody take the test. But anyway,
Okay.
I lost my train of
Oh
thought.
no!
I had it and then I was interrupted, but it's fine because I interrupt everybody anyway. Okay, back on track. Love languages. You have the typical 5, right? Do you know what all 5 of them are? Do you remember?
Let me see if I can remember. There's like you need gifts all the time. That's
Yep.
one. There's the person who needs words of affirmation is one.
Yep.
Maybe that's mine. Or is that yours?
Well, I mean, all 5 of them apply to everyone. It's just what percentage.
Okay. Well, which one's yours? Yours is the words of affirmation, isn't it?
That's my number 3, actually,
well, then
which I was
maybe-
surprised about. It might be your number 1.
I think it's my number 1 because that's literally the only one I remember the exact title to. So maybe it's words of affirmation.
Might
And
be.
then there's like the physical touch. I did it. I'm sorry. I said I wasn't going to, and then I did.
I'm being good. I'm sitting on my hand so I don't hit the mic. But
Let's do ASMR like for 40 minutes. But just tap the mic. Tap the mic. There's the physical touch one, and then there's, I don't know, personal space maybe.
quality time. Quality time is the last one.
okay.
Or not last one, but then acts of service.
Oh.
Okay. So acts of service is my number 1. And I didn't realize
What's acts
that.
of service mean?
Acts of service means if I have a to-do list that's 8 miles long, and if somebody voluntarily helps me out with it, that's how I know I'm loved, because that person is paying attention to say, oh, look, she's doing all of this. I could do this to help her out. And
Wow.
I never realized that. But then I had this discussion that I can't ask for help. And it's not that I can't. I choose not to. I have no desire to ask for help, even though my number 1 love language is
people
hey,
helping
help
you.
me.
How?
See, I told you it was relevant.
It is relevant. You did it. Good job. Gold star.
I guess that makes me laugh because, and that's why I brought up the other friend that I had take it. She's the exact same way. We both want help and we want somebody to notice. And
But
I think
you want them to instinctively know what it is they need to do to help.
and that's not fair.
Boom. Love. We figured it out.
Oh, man. But that's not fair. You can't just expect somebody to know what you need, right?
That's true.
It's awful. That's so unfair to no matter who it is, whether it's husband, boyfriend, spouse, parent, sibling, friend. I don't know.
You know what drives me
dog.
crazy? My dog.
Except
What-
my dog would do all of this.
Oh, little Phoenix.
I love
She's
my
so
puppy.
precious. Okay, so what drives me crazy about people is they like to bitch and moan about other people and blah, 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 didn't do whatever for me. And okay, I'm being very generic here, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
like
it's the woe
but,
is
like,
me. Why can't I get any help?
Well, why did you ask specifically? Oh, well, yeah, maybe. I said something to so-and-so. Like, quit being wishy-washy about it. You need to be direct with people. Like, I know especially with men, like, you need to use as few words as possible. And it's not because I'm trying to put down men. It's just because the way their brains are wired,
Yep.
the way most men's brains are wired,
We're not going to categorize them all.
you need to take the most direct path to get to
Path of least resistance.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the few words as possible, as most direct. They do not like to play games. You just need to come right out and say it. And I'm that way too. If you're not out there telling me, okay, first of all, sometimes I can tell when people are playing games with me, so I'll play dumb on purpose.
Because you want people to get to the point and say it. Don't beat around the bush. Don't act like I'm a mind reader.
You want help, ask for it. I'm not going to help you until you can be an adult and ask me for help, you know?
And well, that throws in that people and adults in general are actually adults, and it's so hard to be an adult.
That's going to be a future podcast. After
should be.
Sitting and watching you and Kim last week talk, I decided that there were things that I needed to bring up. So
Yay.
I'm making my list about adulting. Not that I have it all together, but
Oh, I'm so excited now
Yeah,
because I have a list for adulting and I need to add to it because I don't know what I'm doing.
I know. That's what the podcast is going to be about.
Great. So I'm going to get called out on my lack of adulting.
This was all your idea. So yeah.
What, the adulting?
No, this entire everything that's going on right now was
Not
your idea.
Totally.
So well, yes, it was.
You brought up the podcast.
We're not going to get into that today, Olivia.
Okay.
We're not going to do this lover's spat in front of everybody right now. God, embarrassing.
Okay, well then we'll do it later.
Yeah, please.
Anywho,
Whatever.
we need to get back to asking for help. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to find out how I'm getting help in adulting. But were we going on something?
I don't know. Were we?
I feel like we were and I got sidetracked.
I'm still spatting.
You're so snarky. Oh, good Lanza.
If we're going to talk about like how to ask for help and what you need help with, I think we need to touch on knowing your limitations, figuring out what it is that you can't do, and accepting that, because I actually went through a spell not that long ago where I'm like, I'm just out here doing everything that I can because I don't know my limitations. And that was an actual Facebook post that I put out there for the world. Like, I don't know my limitations, so this is what I'm doing today. And it turns out
that too.
No, this was a long time ago. This was on my other
Got it.
my other
Caught up.
Facebook that's no longer active.
Oh, super long time ago.
It was a long time ago, but like you're just out there trying to do everything that you possibly can. Being the wife, the mom, the everything, and you just keep doing it because you don't know your limitations. And admittedly, I didn't, and then I burned out, and it sucked.
And burnout is awful.
Yeah, because like now, well, and then I don't know. I don't want to talk about personal issues too much, but let's just go with that. Thoughts on limitations? None?
Okay.
All right, I'll keep going.
I have some thoughts, and then my thoughts are going to veer us in a little bit different direction.
Yeah.
Because
Let's do it.
I've been to that burnout level before, but not in the, wife, mom, doing everything for everybody way. It's been running myself ragged, trying to run multiple businesses and still work. And I mean, doing that until midnight, 2:00 in the morning, and then getting up at 7 a.m. and repeating it, not taking time off. And when offered help, just saying, oh no, I'm fine. And choosing not to, I guess, honor myself and what I need.
Knowing your limitations and asking for help be a form of self-care.
I think they could.
And be a form of self-love. Wow.
Which one would it be? Would it be both?
Maybe
it'd be both.
I think knowing your limitations is going to be more about self-love, and then asking for the help would be self-care. I mean, if we need to draw that boundary, which clearly we do, so.
Yay, boundaries.
Yay, boundaries.
No, I definitely think it would, because, I mean, that's holding yourself accountable to what you are able to do, preventing burnout, preventing mental meltdowns. And, we've talked about this before, that we have the first 5. And the first 5 things that you do when you feel yourself hitting that limit.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the first 5 yet.
No, we haven't. And that's where my mind was going with like, ooh, we could detour this way.
Yeah.
Because those are really, really relevant to if you don't know your limitations, then when you hit that breaking point, because everybody's got a breaking point.
Yeah.
And if you hit that, then you need to stop and reevaluate and say, okay, what can I do to bring myself around, and then recognize that this is where I started to fall apart, or this is where I needed to ask for help.
Sometimes you do need to fall apart in order to realize where your limitations are. But
Yeah.
ideally, you don't want to have to get to that point.
It would be a perfect world if you didn't.
Yeah.
Although I think sometimes it is actually necessary. Not all the time. I mean,
To
if you're
break
having a
before you
mental
can build.
breakdown.
Yeah. I like
Yeah. Don't have a mental breakdown every week. But sometimes you do just need that cathartic release to hit your knees and cry. Mm-hmm. And you feel better afterwards. It's like you can't have a rainbow without any rain. There's going to be some bad stuff, but there's always going to be good stuff with it. It's about the balance, right?
Can we just
Yin
get
and
like a
yang.
Libra scale here? And just
Yeah.
every time we say it's all about the balance, I ding it
hold
really
up.
hard.
Well, that's what these bracelets are.
Those are cute.
These
What
count.
is it?
They're my loci bracelets.
What's that?
Okay. This is not an ad.
Bracelet tour.
Oh, man. I have so many. Well, we're going to do the American one because it's easy to see.
Oh, okay.
Okay, white bead.
Hold it up. We can't see it.
Okay, white bead.
Yeah.
This little white bead. It has water from Mount Everest in it,
Ooh, that's cool.
right? The highest point on Earth. And then the black bead,
What if it's like
Hi
the
there.
base of Mount Everest though? Like
I'll accept.
that kind okay, cool.
I'll accept. It's still Mount Everest. It's the principle of
Himalayan
the thing.
snow.
Well, and then in the black bead,
exotic.
there's mud from the Dead Sea, the lowest point on Earth. And the whole point of the bracelet is that sometimes you're on the I'm going to try this again. Sometimes you're on top, stay humble. Sometimes you've hit a low, stay hopeful. And then all the beads that connect them are the journey from the highs to the lows. And the fact that life is full of both. So there's the balance. And I wear these every day as that reminder.
Yeah, I'm noticing you have about 5 of those. You need that much of a reminder to stay humble.
I have about 40 of them. And I don't have all the ones I want. They come out with collections. They have, I think they just recently launched a signs. And I know the Zodiac collection. There it is. So they have signs imprinted on these. They've got collections for the ocean and for Save the Sharks, and I think one is Alzheimer's and
Oh.
a Make-A-Wish Foundation. So when you buy them, part of the proceeds are going to go to these charities. And that's,
I like that.
That's
I like
part of why I
things
have
that
so many.
Go to a good cause.
I
Good
do
cause.
too.
All right. So
But we got way off topic.
yeah, but we kind of didn't. So you've got the one that's your lowest low and the other one that's your highest high.
And then all the steps in between,
And
because
all the steps in between.
you have to. Life is like a roller coaster ride. Can life just be Cedar Point?
God, wouldn't that be amazing?
Life kind of is already like Cedar Point, though.
I know people whose lives actually are Cedar Point. Like that's their actual life.
I love that life.
They just go all the time and they're like, "Hey, guess where we're going?" Is it Cedar Point? Yeah,
Yeah.
because you go there all the time. That's what I know. All right. Well, how do we wrap that into
That's what I'm
asking for
thinking.
help and limitations? Because I really like the message that is.
I do too. And I think maybe it's not wrapping it back into asking for help and limitations, but circling back to your mental meltdowns and how to prevent them and reaching that limitation of
Okay.
asking for help. Because if the bracelets, if life, if the Millennium Force has taught us anything, it's that life is a series of highs and lows.
And a lot of screaming.
Lots of screaming.
Lots
man.
of screaming.
And you can't avoid it. You shouldn't want to avoid it. But you also have to know that when you hit the top of the ride and you're going down over that first hill, if you don't catch yourself, you're going to hit a low. And you need to be able to stop and say, okay, am I at the highest point? Am I where all of a sudden I'm going to plummet into darkness?
The lows are inevitable. You just have to have the strength to be able to come back up and write it back up.
But sometimes you need a hand back up. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. And we shouldn't feel bad for needing a hand back up, even though I do, personally. I want to do everything on my own.
I think let's go back to trusting people and realizing the circles, like who's in your circle and who you can trust to help you pull back. Because I don't think that it's anybody else's obligation or responsibility to help you come back up, but the people that you have in your inner circles or your, I don't know.
Good circle.
Yeah, I wasn't listening during that entire podcast.
I figure you don't listen half the time when I talk.
I don't. It's all right. It's fine.
How we get through these is beyond me.
I don't know. Anyway, so like the people that you've got in your good circle, you can trust with asking for help. So, define who those people are. Mm-hmm. And then that way, when you know that you need help, you know who that you have to reach out to.
Who that you have. Who is in your corner right now.
Yeah. No, you know what I mean? Like, you can't trust everybody with everything, and you shouldn't have to. But that small group of people, you should be able to. And then when they when they need help, then you should be able to reciprocate that. And now you know. And now you know. The more you know. Rainbow, star.
It's like SpongeBob.
Happy ending.
Imagination.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
That's where I went with that. Okay, but going into trust, this is actually something I left out when we talked about these boundaries. But the good circle, a giant part of that is reciprocity.
Reciprocity. I know that.
Is that
one.
the word?
Yeah,
that's how I said it.
Yeah.
Woohoo! It needs to go both ways. If you expect these people and count on these people to show up for you, like when you're at your lows, you need to know that you should be there for them when the tables are turned. It's not fair to put somebody in your good circle and say, you know what, I'm on the verge of a meltdown. I'm losing my shit right now. I need to talk. I need help. I need whatever. And then not do it for them.
Not even just on the edge of a breakdown and you need to talk. Like if you need like physical help doing something, like I have so much on my plate right now. I just need somebody to do my laundry because that's something that I can outsource to somebody else. Yeah. And we've done that. I'm not gonna sit there and say like we do our laundry every week. Sometimes it's been just like super crazy, and between running the store, swim practice, all of these other things that my kids are involved in, because they're involved in a lot.
Yeah, they are.
Sometimes it just gets really ragged, so we call in the laundry master, which is my mother-in-law, and she'll just take a basket of clothes over to a house, bring them back folded, and like sick.
The laundry master,
she will sit and like match socks for hours, and that is her happy place. And I am okay being like,
here you go, thank you, love you, appreciate you.
I know that this is something you enjoy. Do you mind helping? But I don't want to like take advantage of her kindness, all the time.
Yeah.
When I've got it back together, give me my basket of laundry back. I can take it from here. But thank you for the help.
But for right now, when there's 1,000,001 other things that need to be done and there aren't enough hours in the day.
And I can count on her for stuff like that. I actually count on her for a lot. She's a superwoman.
That's a great mother-in-law to have too.
If there was Pinterest back in the 80s, like
she would be a super mom.
She is a super mom. I mean, that's not to say that she doesn't have her own set of limitations, and sometimes we have to remind her of that. But yeah.
Maybe that's what we need too, is the people in our good circle, the people in our lives, to hold us accountable for our own limitations.
That's kind of a thing too, right? So like you have these people and they're in your circle, but they just want to stay, I don't know what the word is that I want to use. They don't want to be as hands-on as you need them. Maybe it's time to kick them out of your good circle. But we shouldn't have to be afraid to get our hands dirty, helping other people out.
Yeah, I agree.
And if they're not going to call you, if you don't have people out there who are going to say, hey, look, you need help, then, oh my gosh, my brain just went blank again.
Well, because a lot of the times we don't want to recognize that we need help.
Right, but like what I'm saying is, like for me looking at you,
Yeah.
and you're struggling. I shouldn't have to be afraid to take you aside and say, hey, look, I think we need to talk about something.
Yeah.
Like if you're just going to be the person that sits there and listens and you have all these thoughts.
Like a little wallflower and you don't challenge anybody
you're not going to challenge
push past.
Because you want to save your friendship and you don't want to make,
No
so
waves.
mad.
We can't rock the boat.
Don't want to rock the boat. That's not being a good friend. That's not being a friend that deserves to be in the good circle.
Yeah.
So if that's a concern to you, maybe you should be looking at how can I help these people. And again, if you are worried about somebody just kicking you out of their life or calling them out, that's okay.
Well, and
they don't deserve to be in your circle.
I think if you lose somebody because you did something that from your perspective was for their benefit, then A, it's not necessarily lost forever. And B, you did everything that you could. And you were there as a friend. I think that's maybe one of the bigger things. When like recognizing that not necessarily you yourself won't ask for help, but somebody that you know needs help won't ask for it.
Yeah.
And it's making sure, okay, they need help. They're not getting it. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I think is right. And then, like you said, that's what being a friend is
but
making
also be
sure
sensitive. Like if they're just not ready to accept the help right now, be sensitive enough to say, okay, well, I'm going to back off, but I'm here if you need me, and then just wait. Because, we're still talking about how do you go from being like this independent person to all of a sudden, needing to accept help, whatever that help may look like. Some people just need a little bit more time to come around. Maybe you never will come around. Maybe you're the type of person who's like, no, I'm going to be fine on my own. But when the burnout strikes, don't say we didn't warn you. And make sure that you have, the circle of people around to help you through that. So I don't know. I think that's all. This was kind of a hard topic for me.
This is an insanely hard topic. I can't really
But that's pretty much all I have to say on it.
Yeah, I mean, asking for help, it's maybe all that there is to say is that it's hard and you just have to know yourself well enough to find your limitations and don't push past them. This isn't one of those, hey, find this limit and break it. No, don't do that. You will break down.
Take your highs and lows and then find the people that can help you get out of your lows, because we don't all have to go through this alone.
Nobody should go through this alone.
Right.
Nobody should go through anything alone. The good stuff, you need somebody to call. The bad, and celebrate. The bad stuff, you need somebody that you can say, hey, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
And accept the help. Make sure to reciprocate and give the help. Right? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
I think I did.
You did. Did a good job.
And hooray. And always find the sunshine.
Find the sunshine. It's here today, guys.
Thank goodness
we got sunshine.
it's here today.
I think that's going to do it for us for today.
I feel like, yeah.
That was kind of a rough one, but we got through it.
It's fine.
High five.
Yes.
Yes.
We helped each other through it. Goals.
All right. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.